We start with that headline this hour. That's the court case against self-confessed Israeli serial rapist Nkosinathi Phakathi. It's been postponed until the 8th and 9th of December. Phakathi will remain in custody. The 32-year-old is linked to at least 93 rapes over 9 years. The youngest of his victims is said to have been a 9-year-old girl. Phakathi pleaded guilty to most of the charges, including rape, sexual assault and kidnapping. eNCA's Moloko Moloto has been following the proceedings for us in court. He joins us now live to give us an update. Good afternoon, Moloko. Just a short while ago, when we last spoke to you, the court had gone into a brief recession, some interval. What's the latest you can tell us?
So, Braden, the latest is that Mr. Nkosinathi Phakathi has been found guilty on all the 148 counts. 90 for rape, 43 for kidnapping, 4 for compelled rape. Compelled rape really relates to him forcing 2 boys to rape 2 girls, and 3 counts for causing children to witness him as he was raping some of his victims, 2 for sexual assault, 2 for common assault, 4 for theft, and in total 184. The acting judge, Lesego Makwe, delivered her judgment a short while ago, but it turned out that the defense lawyer for Mr. Phakathi requested that the services of a clinical psychologist be involved, and the state did not oppose that, and as a result, the court said it would postpone or adjourn this particular matter to the 8th and to the 9th of November of next month, I beg your pardon, wherein a clinical psychologist report would be expected to be tabled in court. But let's bring into this conversation Ms. Lumka Mahanjane. She is the regional spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority. Lumka, it took the police or the criminal justice system nearly 10 years before this criminal was captured. Up to so far, he's been found guilty on 148 counts. I'm sure you're happy as the NPA.
Yes, as the NPA, we welcome the judgment. He was found guilty of all the 148 counts that he pleaded on. And as the NPA will be asking, during our aggravation, we'll be asking that the judge impose a sentence, a very strong sentence that will send a message that such offenses will not be tolerated and will be prosecuted.
Lumka, this must have been one of the most difficult cases, and I'm just assuming here that you have had to deal with, because some of these incidents or rapes dates back to 9 years, 10 years back, and presumably in some instances some of the witnesses were also no longer willing to come forward. What did you rely on in the main for you to crack this?
Through the hard work of the investigating officers, as the state, we had a very strong case against the accused, because this matter had about 98 dockets which were investigated. So the accused was ultimately linked to the offenses through DNA and some to his modus operandi report.
I was just watching his body or his demeanor as he was in the dock and the presiding officer was reading out the judgment. Not even once did he look into the presiding officer. What did you read out of that? Do you get a sense that he is showing remorse? And the fact now that his lawyer is saying, let's involve the services of a clinical psychologist, do you get a sense that they are trying perhaps to paint an image of a man who's insane here, and to an extent where they would even ask for a linear sentence?
The pre-sentence report is normally required before someone is sentenced. Therefore, it's a normal thing that usually happens in court before an individual is sentenced.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate your time. She speaks for the National Prosecuting Authority in the region. And Braden, as it stands, we're just waiting for the 8th or the 9th. Of course, that will also depend on whether this particular clinical psychologist report would be completed by then. It was clear that those are provisional dates. Should the defense perhaps require more time, the impression I got is that both the state and the court would not have a problem with that. But as matters stand, this man has been found guilty of those litany of charges, a countless number of women and children that he raped. Today, at least they know that he is a convicted criminal, and it did emerge here in court that before all these cases he's been convicted of, he previously did not have any criminal conviction. Braden?
Yeah.